Welcome back, everybody. Well, tonight it's going to be a pretty messy job, so let's just get right into it. As you can see here, I'm draining the oil out of the front plug of the oil pan there. That's the cap that the end of the oil pump shaft fits in. Seemed like the only place I could find that didn't have a bunch of ice covering it. I did try and drain it out of these two oil check ports on this side, but they were covered in ice or oil just wouldn't flow out of them. So you can see we're getting drained down in there. So really it looks pretty good in there. I'm sure there's a little bit of ice down at the bottom, so once it drains down a little bit more, we'll drop that oil pan, well, at least the center part here, the oil pan, and see what we can find. I've got these bolts just a little loose. Don't want to take them all the way out, but I'm sure we're still going to make a heck of a mess here. So look at that. Not a drop. Oh my. Well, there's still oil in it, so not sure what to think about that. Let's see if we can get it off and see what we find here. That's a square-headed bolt. The other three are hex head. Not sure what that's all about. So the cover is completely loose right now, and there isn't a drop of oil coming out of it. Oh my. Okay, so that is part of the bottom of the pan there. So that would explain that. Let me get you guys down here where you can see. Alright, so even though it has this cover right here with the drain plug in the middle of it, I can't tell if that's all ice. Looks like cast iron to me, but maybe the ice is just taking the pattern of the cast, so. Oh no, she's ice. Look at that, guys. Oh my goodness. That is crazy. Oh my goodness. I'd say it's a good thing we're pulling this apart. We're getting some water. That's just all ice, guys. Oh my goodness. There we go. Now we're dripping some oil out. We get a longer bar, see what we can do with that. I can say I've never had to dig oil out of an oil pan. Well, it's flowing a little bit. See if we can get back up in here. There, it's running a little better. Get that gasket out of the way. All right, we'll let that drain out for a little bit longer here. Everyone, real quick, I want to give a shout out to Jacob Swanson on YouTube. He recommended hanging this engine block like this, which is pretty well balanced and a lot safer than how I initially had it chained up. I'm using a strap now. Everything seems to be really balanced well and a whole lot safer than it was before. So thank you, Jacob. Alright, so the way we got this sitting now, you guys can get a better look at all this sludge in here. So yeah, that's sludge and ice mixture here. So I think we're going to pop this oil pan off, or the lower pan, oil pan. There's two separate oil pans. Got the lower in the upper part here. So we're going to pop this lower one off and see what it looks like inside. Alright, so I've got to be a little careful coming off. Like I said, the oil pump drive shaft is right behind this cap here, and there's gears right back there, so I don't want this to drop down and mess any of that up in any way. So I've left a bolt on each side. Let's see if we can get the gasket broke free here. There we go. I have to run that castle nut back down in. There it goes. Well, we'll leave that there for a minute. That is loose. Let me see if I can figure out a way to safely take it off. All right, let's see if we can take these bolts out. Get this off without dropping it and breaking it. Okay, it's loose. It is sludge central, guys. Take a look at that. My goodness. That's going to require a little cleaning, I think. So let's get this set off to the side and get it out of the way. There we go. All right, so now we're just left with the lower oil pan. And this is the entire lower part. It splits back here at the bell housing on each side. So I think we can take that off all right. I'm gonna leave the chain hoist on it. Let me get some of the tools cleaned up off of the top here, and then we'll figure out a game plan. Alright, so I've got the block supported pretty well. everything's resting on the flywheel itself down here, and there's a support block there at the top. I think what I'm going to try and do is take these loose, break it loose, and then I'll move my chain hoist over here and pick the pan up, pull it off, leaving the block here. I may get some of my jack stands out and put them on the sides just to kind of further support it here. But let me get this broke loose first, and then we'll figure out where we need to go from there. Alright, here's the last one to break free. Everything seems to be holding on fairly well. There, it broke free. Loosen this side up a little more. I don't know, guys, I think I can lift that off. I don't think that's all that bad. So I'm going to clean the bolts off here. And don't worry, guys, I am bagging and labeling all these bolts where they go, so we'll be able to put them back someday. Alright. There we go. Slide that away. Alright guys, so here's the upper oil pan. You can see it's got the bell housing there, and the reason I have to take that loose is because, I don't know if you can see it real well here. Let's see what we can do. The flywheel itself is belled out to where you cannot pull the flywheel before you pull the crank. So all this whole assembly will have to come out together. Not sure why they did that, but I'm sure there was a reason. So, alright, let's get some of this stuff cleaned up and we'll be right back. Alright guys, so just a couple quick things I want to note here. As I was inspecting this, I was looking for timing marks. If you look over here, you can see they don't quite line up. So somebody has put this intermediate gear, this idler gear, on out of time. Luckily the crank and the cam appear to still be in time. So I think somebody has been into this engine before, at least in this front part here. Which makes you wonder why, if this gear is so much more worn than all the others, what's kind of going on here. So get a better view of the gear there. It's not much better, but guys, I'm also looking down here at the rod bearings, If you look at number 1, let's see if I get a little light on that. So if you look at number 1, it's stamped over here on the camshaft side. So no markings over here on the other side. But if you come down to number 2, it's stamped on the cover side. No markings on the cam side. Number 3, and it's a little hard to see, but it's stamped on the cam side. And number 4 is stamped over on the cam side. So has somebody put this rod on number 2 in backwards? I'm not sure. Kind of makes you wonder. So just some other views here looking into the engine. All the main caps appear to be on the same direction. So I don't think anybody's been into the main bearings. So, but guys, I think this is a good stopping point. I know this is probably going to be a short episode, but I think further teardown is going to require a little bit cleaner workspace. So again, I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you like what you see, please subscribe, like it, and we'll keep working on this Allis Chalmers. So thank you guys.